A very good morning to you, my dear children. Hope all of you are doing well. Today, we are going to discuss some terms with you that you can see on the board. I have written strong acid or a strong base, weak acid, weak base, concentrated acid, concentrated base, dilute acid, dilute base. Today we are going to discuss these terms, okay? Is there any relation between these two terms or is there any difference between these two terms? So we are going to discuss that one. I'll discuss one by one. Remember, strong acid or strong base, weak acid or base, concentrated acid or base, dilute acid or base. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. Okay, now let's see what's a strong acid or a strong base. Okay, let's take first strong acid. I'll write some examples on the board. Examples of strong acid: HCl, hydrochloric acid, H2SO4, what is that? Sulfuric acid, HNO3, nitric acid. These are examples of strong acid. Now, let's check why they are strong acids. Okay, let's take an example first. Hydrochloric acid. Okay, when hydrochloric acid is in aqueous solution, okay, in presence of water, hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid or nitric acid, all strong acids in presence of water, strong acids can ionize completely. What is ionize completely? They can split into positive and negative ions completely. Okay, so you can see hydrochloric acid in aqueous solution will split completely into H plus ions and chloride Cl minus ions when strong acids are in aqueous solution. In presence of water, they will split or they will ionize completely. Okay, let's take example of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4. So H2SO4 will split into H plus ions and sulfate 2 minus ions. So 2 hydrogen atoms are there, no? So here also 2 hydrogen ions will be formed. So see, you can see strong acids will ionize completely. Okay, all the molecules of the acid will ionize completely into H plus ions and the corresponding negative ions when they are in aqueous solution. Hope you understood. How do nitric acid molecules will split H plus and NO3 minus ions? They will ionize completely. Hope you understood what is a strong acid. Similarly, a strong base, example, potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, lithium hydroxide, etc. are examples of strong bases. Okay, so in presence of water, the same definition. In presence of water, strong bases can also ionize completely. Okay, all the molecules will split into ions when they are in aqueous solution. Hope you understood. We'll move to weak acid or weak base. Okay, now examples of weak acids. Some of the examples I'll write on the board. Carbonic acid, soda, carbonic acid, phosphoric acid, H3PO4, okay, or even vinegar, acetic acid. What is the chemical formula of acetic acid? CH3COOH. Okay, even formic acid, HCOOH, the acid present in ants. So these all are weak acids. Okay, why they are weak acids? The reason is in presence of water. Okay, they can only partially ionize into positive and negative ions. I'll explain. 2 hydrogen are there, so 2H plus. You can see I have put one double arrow. What does it indicate? What does it mean? The meaning of this double arrow is some of the molecules of acid will remain as molecules itself, some only will split into ions. Therefore, if you take 1000 molecules of H2CO3, all 1000 molecules will not split into ions. Very few only split into hydrogen ion and carbonate ion. That means you can use the term partially ionizes. Okay. So, weak acid, a weak acid partially ionizes into positive H plus ions and negative the corresponding ions. Another example is phosphoric acid. How will you write phosphoric acid? So, in presence of water, okay, in presence of water, double arrow, H plus, how many hydrogen are there? 3. So, 3H plus and PO4, valency of phosphate ion is 3 minus, okay, PO4 3 minus. Similarly, acetic acid will partially ionize into CH3, COO ions, aqueous, okay, don't forget aqueous, in presence of water, and H plus ion, CH3, COO, acetate ion, okay, acetate negative ion and hydrogen plus ions will be formed. Hope you understood weak acid and okay, weak base we didn't discuss, so we will discuss weak base also. In the same way, examples of weak bases are like magnesium hydroxide, MgOH 2 times, because valency of magnesium is 2. Okay. Another example, ammonium hydroxide, NH4OH. Ammonium is a positive polyatomic ion. Do you remember? So NH4 positive and OH minus negative ion. So how do they split? Magnesium hydroxide, how? Only partially ionizes into positive and negative ions. Mg, what is the valency? 2 plus ions and OH minus ions. What's the condition? Should be in aqueous solution. Similarly, ammonium hydroxide in presence of water partially, okay, few molecules will split into NH4 plus aqueous and hydroxide ions aqueous. You know that bases will release OH minus ions, isn't it? So they are called, if they partially ionizes, then they are called weak bases. Hope it is very clear to you. Let's move to concentrated and dilute acid, concentrated and dilute base also, and what is the process of dilution. After that, we will discuss some questions from the textbook. Okay. Okay, now we will discuss what is a concentrated acid or a concentrated base, and also a diluted acid and a diluted base. Let's take one example. Okay, suppose you have taken 10 ml of hydrochloric acid in a container. Okay, 10 ml of hydrochloric acid in a container. 10 ml of HCl in a container. So you know that in presence of water, hydrochloric acid, hydrogen chloride dissolved in water is called hydrochloric acid. So definitely it contains some quantity, small quantity of water, isn't it? The concentrated acid contains some quantity of water. So in presence of water, what they will do? They can split into two ions, H plus ions and Cl minus, chloride minus ions. Okay. In the second case, remember in the first case you have taken 10 ml of acid. Okay, concentrated acid. Why it is called concentrated, that we are going to discuss. In the second case, you have taken 10 ml acid, but the acid is 5 ml. You made 5 ml hydrochloric acid mixed with another 5 ml water. Volume is equal, but the content of hydrochloric acid is less in the second case. You added only 5 ml HCl and you added 5 ml water. Okay, so you know that in this case also hydrochloric acid will split into hydrogen plus ions and chloride minus ions, isn't it? But how will you compare the number of H plus ions in both the cases? Okay, here you have taken more quantity of hydrochloric acid, therefore more number of H plus ions per unit volume will be produced, isn't it? If you take a small volume here and check the number of same volume in both the cases, you can see in this case, first case, more number of H plus ions are produced, isn't it? Okay. In the second case, the quantity of acid is less, therefore the number of H plus ions produced per unit volume also will be less. So this is the difference between concentrated acid and a concentrated base. Did you understand? The number of H plus ions per unit volume will be less when you dilute an acid. Okay. So here one more point we have to remember, that is when an acid is mixed with water, actually you know that hydrochloric acid, for example, when in presence of water, hydrochloric acid will completely ionize into H plus ions and chloride minus ions. Remember, these H plus ions in the solution is unstable. They cannot exist alone. So what they will do? They will soon combine with one water molecule and they will become H3O plus ions, which is called hydronium ions. What is hydronium ion? H3O plus ions. Where can you see hydronium ions? In acid, in diluted acid, or in presence of aqueous solution, you can see hydronium ions. As H plus ions are highly unstable, they will soon combine with one water molecule and becomes an hydronium ion. Did you understand? Okay. Similarly, concentrated base, you know that concentrated base or diluted concentrated, and also we will discuss diluted base. Okay, concentrated base or diluted base. What is that? For example, if you have taken sodium hydroxide 10 ml, okay, 10 ml, you know that number of Na plus, and they will completely ionize into Na positive, sodium positive ion and hydroxide negative ions. And when you added similarly in the previous case 5 ml sodium hydroxide and mixed with another 5 ml water, what will happen? It will become diluted, isn't it? So here what will happen? The number of, it will also split into OH minus ions, sodium hydroxide, here 5 ml sodium hydroxide, 5 ml H2O water. So in this case also, but they will split into ions, but number of hydroxide ions produced will be less compared to the first case. Okay, so it is called diluted base, diluted sodium hydroxide. Hope it is clear what is concentrated, what is diluted. Remember, a strong acid can also be concentrated or diluted. Similarly, a weak acid can also be concentrated or diluted, isn't it? So remember, strong acid and concentrated acids are entirely different. Strong acids means the acid which can completely ionize into positive and negative ions. Okay. Now let's discuss about what is the process of dilution. Okay. So what is dilution? We can simply say that mixing an acid or a base with water, isn't it? Okay. So when you add some water into an acid or a base, the number of H plus ions or hydronium ions in the case of acids per unit volume will decrease, isn't it? For example, if you take hydrochloric acid, what will happen? Hydrochloric acid will split into H plus ions and Cl minus ions. So suppose you have taken this much volume, okay, there will be a number of H plus ions, a particular number of H plus ions at present. Okay, if you add water, what will happen? Number of H plus ions in this area will be reduced, isn't it? So that is called dilution. When you mix an acid or a base with water, number of H3O plus ions, hydronium ions, or you can say H plus ions, and in the case of bases, OH minus ions per unit volume will be decreased. This process is called dilution. Hope you understood. When you add some water into an acid, if you take unit volume, number of H plus ions, or in the case of a base, OH minus ions, in that area will be decreased because of the water molecules, isn't it? So now what happened? It became diluted. Okay, so that process is called dilution. Okay, mixing of water to an acid or a base, which result in the decrease in hydronium ions or OH minus ions. That process is called dilution. All right. Okay. Now, how can we dilute an acid or a base? Is that simple, like we are adding water into milk, dilution of milk? No, actually it is not as simple as that. A lot of care should be taken while diluting an acid or a base, especially strong acids, because mixing of an acid with water or dilution of acids are highly exothermic. Dilution of strong bases are also highly exothermic. So if you add water directly into an acid, what will happen? A lot of heat energy will be released, and the mixture will get hot. So there is a chance of splashing out the mixture to your face, which is very dangerous, which will cause an accident. So dilution should be done very carefully. The procedure is, we are not adding water to acid, we are adding acid to water. Large quantity of water is taken, and we are adding the required amount of acid drop by continuous stirring. That is the procedure. Okay. I told you dilution is a highly exothermic process, so care should be taken. Always mix acid to water by continuous stirring, not water to acid. Hope you understood. Okay. Next, we will do some questions from the previous taken classes, online classes. 2-3 exercises. I will tell you the page number and we'll discuss the answers. Right? Let me take the textbook. Okay, page number 18. You can see one question, only one single question. You have been provided with 3 test tubes. One of them contains distilled water, and the other 2 contain an acidic solution and a basic solution respectively. If you are given only red litmus paper, how will you identify the content of each test tube? The question is, you have given 3 solutions, A, B and C. A contains distilled water, B contains an acid, and C contains a base, and you are provided only red litmus paper, right? Red litmus paper, yes. You are provided the indicator red litmus paper. How will you identify these three? Okay, you know, distilled water is neutral in nature. So if you if you check red litmus paper with distilled water, no color change will be observed as it is neutral. What about B? Red litmus will not show any color change because acids can turn blue litmus into red, right? So no color change. But when you check with the base, what will happen? Red litmus will change into blue color. So you can identify C first. Okay. Now you have blue litmus also. How? From the base. Okay. How will you test? Now you can check with now you have red litmus, also you have blue litmus, isn't it? Okay. Now with the blue litmus you can check acid. What will happen? Acid will change blue litmus to red again. What about distilled water? If you check blue litmus paper or dip blue litmus or red litmus in distilled water, nothing will happen, no color change. Okay, we'll move to the next questions. Question number page number 22. 3 questions are there. I'll read. Why should curd and sour substances not be kept in brass and copper vessels? What is the reason? Sour substances like curd, citric acid, lemon juice or any other citrus fruits juice, they contain acids. If you keep that in brass or copper containers, what will happen? Copper and brass, they are metals, they contain metals, isn't it? So metals can react with sour substance, acids. How do metals react with? Previous class we have discussed acid plus metal, salt and hydrogen. The produced salt may be toxic in nature. Therefore, we are not supposed to keep sour substances in metal containers. Okay. Second question. Which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with a metal? Which gas? Hydrogen gas. Okay. Illustrate with an example. How will you test for the presence of this gas? You can see the diagram, page number 19. You can see this diagram. This is the activity for the reaction between acid and a base. You can see we are passing the evolved gas through soap solution. Why do we pass the evolved hydrogen through soap solution? If we burn, hydrogen is highly flammable. So if we burn hydrogen gas directly, what will happen? Highly explosive reaction may occur. Therefore, we are passing, for our safety, we are passing through soap solution, and that soap bubbles we are showing into a burning splinter. So what is the test for hydrogen? The test for hydrogen is hydrogen gas will burn with a pop sound, P-O-P, pop sound. Okay, so hope you understood. Okay, then metal compound, third question. Metal compound A reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce effervescence. What is effervescence meaning? A gas is produced, isn't it? A gas is evolved. So metal A, when reacts with hydrochloric acid, sorry, not metal compound, okay, metal compound A is a metal compound, and when it is reacts with hydrochloric acid, what happened? An effervescence is produced. That means a gas is evolved. The gas evolved extinguishes a burning candle. So which gas will extinguish a burning candle? Yeah, definitely CO2 gas, right? Okay. So write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction if one of the compound formed is calcium chloride. So we have got some clues. One of the product is calcium chloride and the other one is carbon dioxide. Okay. Now what will be the metal compound A? We know that metal carbonate only releases what? Carbon dioxide when they react with an acid. Okay, so when they react with an acid, you know that also salt, carbon dioxide and water are produced. Water are H2 also are produced. Okay, so which metal carbonate here? You will get a clue from this answer. Here it is calcium. So it can be calcium carbonate, also it can be calcium bicarbonate, because calcium carbonate, metal carbonate and metal bicarbonate react with an acid to produce salt, carbon dioxide and water. In the previous lesson we have already learned. So which metal compound? A is either calcium carbonate or calcium bicarbonate. Okay, these questions are from page number 22. Hope all of you understood. I will upload the notes of these portions through NTAB. You just wait. You can copy it to your notebook. Okay, and also you can do the exercises. Today's class is also over. We'll meet again tomorrow. Till then, bye and take care.